1,000-year-old mummy, discovered in Peru, but the secret behind it shocked experts. Have you ever imagined that beneath the bustling streets of a modern capital, there could lie an archaeological secret thousands of years old? It might sound like something out of a movie, but it's exactly what happened in Lima, the capital of Peru, when workers laying a natural gas pipeline unexpectedly uncovered an ancient tomb estimated to be around 1,000 years old. What makes this discovery even more remarkable is that the mummy doesn't belong to the famous Egyptian civilization with its pyramids and pharaohs' curses, but instead to an indigenous South American culture, thousands of miles to the west. The story unfolded during the expansion of a natural gas pipeline in the Puente Piedra district, now a densely populated urban area but once vast agricultural fields. At a depth of about 4 feet, workers stumbled upon fascinating archaeological remains. There, they found the mummified remains of a child in a seated position, a distinctive burial posture of the time. The child, estimated to be between 10 and 15 years old, still had dark brown locks of hair on its head, an astonishing detail given that nearly a millennium has passed. Jesus Bahamonde, the lead archaeologist overseeing the project for gas company Kalita, stated that the artifacts and burial style date from around 1000 to 1200 AD. The team also discovered a huarango tree trunk, a drought-resistant native species of Peru and Ecuador, buried about 20 inches below the surface. This tree, once used as a grave marker, is a clue that ancient people knew how to use natural elements to protect their burial sites. The mummy was wrapped in a burial shroud placed a few feet from the tree trunk and surrounded by artifacts such as ceramic plates, pots, and jars, adorned with geometric patterns and depictions of fishermen's lives. Fascinatingly, archaeologists found traces of crustaceans, like crabs, on some of the dishes and bowls, giving insights into the community's diet and perhaps even the child's personal tastes. Bahamonde believes the mummy likely belonged to the Chankay culture, a thriving fishing community along Peru's coast between 1000 and 1500 AD, before the rise of the Inca Empire. The fact that the mummy's face was oriented westward, toward the sea, further supports the theory of a strong cultural connection to the ocean. This vivid discovery demonstrates how vibrant and unique the Chankay culture once was, yet much of its history remains undocumented. Today, Lima is a densely populated city of 11.5 million people, but because of its rich and ancient heritage, large construction projects are required to involve archaeologists. In fact, since Kalita began expanding the gas pipeline over a decade ago, more than 2,200 archaeological artifacts have been discovered and excavated across the city. Peter Van Dalen, head of Peru's College of Archaeology, explained that funerary items, including tombs and individual mummies, are commonly found along Peru's coast. Many of these mummies were naturally preserved due to the hot, dry climate, which caused their skin to dehydrate. They are often found seated with their hands covering their faces, a typical burial custom of many indigenous cultures. Isn't it astonishing that a modern and vibrant city like Lima can still harbor such immense history and hidden secrets beneath its surface? That's the wonder of archaeology. It allows us to connect with the past and gain deeper understanding of how our ancestors lived thousands of years ago. This discovery in Lima comes at the same time as major breakthroughs in Egypt, where scientists are unraveling the mystery of the so-called pharaoh's curse, one of the oldest legends tied to the mysterious deaths of those who excavated King Tutankhamun's tomb in 1922. After decades of speculation about supernatural forces, new research has revealed that the real cause may have been toxic bacteria and microorganisms that thrived within the tomb. This revelation not only dispels the myths, but also opens new avenues for medical research, especially in the fight against cancer. Meanwhile, far away in England, archaeologists in Cotswolds recently unearthed the remains of an important Roman villa, marking a significant advance in understanding ancient Roman architecture and daily life in the area. Glenn Manning, who made the discovery, said it was a strong gut feeling before the dig that led to this incredible find. So, from modern cities like Lima to the scorching deserts of Egypt and the peaceful countryside of England, archaeology continues to unveil the mysteries of human history. Every discovery is not just a piece of the past, it's a spark that fuels our passion for learning and exploration. So, are you ready to join me on the next journey into humanity's hidden past? Unspoken stories and long-lost cultures await us, and surely many more surprises lie ahead on this magical path of discovery. If you're ready, stay right where you are. Let's dive into the past together, starting now. The giant skull tower of the Aztecs. In the heart of modern-day Mexico City, where the fast-paced rhythm of the 21st century pulses through every street, a blood-soaked mystery is slowly being uncovered beneath layers of concrete and asphalt. An ancient structure known as the Huitzilopochtli, or Great Skull Tower, has been excavated, bringing to light chilling fragments of the Aztec Empire's dark and mysterious past. The story begins near the site of Templo Mayor, the Aztecs' most sacred temple, located in the center of Tenochtitlan, the mighty empire's capital, which today lies beneath bustling Mexico City. Since excavations began in 2015, archaeologists from Mexico's National Institute of Anthropology and History, INAH, have unearthed layer upon layer of human skulls, stacked and mortared together into a strange and awe-inspiring structure. So far, at least 676 skulls have been documented, and counting. But why would the Aztecs build something so terrifying? According to historians and archaeologists, this tower was part of the Huitzilopochtli, a massive skull rack that horrified Spanish conquistadors when they first arrived in the early 16th century. It was built to honor Huitzilopochtli, the god of war and the sun, an ultimate symbol of life and death in Aztec religion. Human sacrifice, in which warriors were beheaded and their skulls used to construct the tower, was how the Aztecs offered reverence to their gods and sought divine protection for their empire. However, what truly shocked archaeologists was the diversity of the skulls found. Contrary to earlier assumptions that victims were mainly male warriors of fighting age, recent analysis shows that many of the skulls belong to women and children. This discovery has overturned much of what we thought we knew about Aztec sacrificial rituals, raising unsettling questions. Did the Aztecs conduct more widespread, complex, and terrifying rituals than we ever imagined? The tower itself was circular in shape, roughly 20 feet in diameter and several feet tall, standing ominously in the sacred temple complex. Hundreds of human skulls stared outward in every direction, their expressions frozen in lime and mortar, yet still whispering haunting prayers from another world. Far more than just a symbol of power, the skull tower was a testament to the Aztecs' ultimate devotion and to their unique philosophy of life and death. To them, death was not the end, but a transformation. It was the passage through which the soul merged with the cosmos, human blood nourished the gods, and the sun was granted the strength to rise each day. These discoveries help us better understand the Aztec civilization, an empire that dominated much of Central America from the 14th to 16th centuries, renowned for its monumental architecture, complex social systems, and most infamously, its ritualistic sacrifices. But was this brutality simply savagery? Or could it reflect a profound, misunderstood philosophy about life and existence, one we may not fully grasp from our modern perspective? What do you think about the use of human skulls in religious ceremonies? Is it barbaric? Or is it a form of complete and unwavering devotion to the gods and beliefs of an ancient culture? These skulls are no longer just objects of myth. They are living data, messages from the past sent to the present, reminding us that history is never simple. And you, with your modern eyes, are you brave enough to stare directly at the truths unearthed from the ground? At the place where life and death once intertwined in a ritual both sacred and haunting? The 3,700-year-old royal princess's tomb. Imagine standing before a sun-drenched, wind-swept expanse of ancient Egyptian desert. In front of you lies the vast royal necropolis of Dashur, a resting place for the elite that dates back more than 3 millennia. And right here, an archaeological discovery has captured the attention of the world. A newly uncovered tomb, believed to belong to the daughter of Pharaoh Amnikamau, hidden beneath layers of sand and time for some 3,700 years. Curious to know what makes this tomb so extraordinary? Let's lift the veil on this ancient mystery together. On May 11th, Egypt's Ministry of Antiquities announced the groundbreaking discovery. The tomb was found south of Cairo, in the Dashur necropolis, an area renowned for its ancient pyramids and unique architectural styles. But this time, it wasn't just the structure that drew the attention of archaeologists, it was the identity of the person buried there. Based on the remaining inscriptions and artifacts within the tomb, experts believe this is the final resting place of a royal princess, the daughter of Pharaoh Amnikamah, a ruler from one of the least documented periods in ancient Egyptian history. Inside the tomb, archaeologists found a finely carved wooden sarcophagus. Adorning the panels were ancient hieroglyphs believed to be protective spells, meant to safeguard the soul and body of the deceased on their journey to the afterlife. Upon opening the sarcophagus, they discovered 4 wooden canopic jars, sacred vessels used to store embalmed internal organs like the heart, liver, lungs, and stomach. These are hallmark features of noble or royal burials. As they delved deeper into the tomb, evidence increasingly pointed to the idea that this princess was not only a pharaoh's daughter, but also a person of significant importance within the royal court of her time. You might wonder, is it just coincidence that this discovery happened shortly after another one nearby? Just last month, roughly 2,000 feet from the princess's tomb, archaeologists uncovered the remains of a new pyramid, believed to belong to Pharaoh Amnikamah himself. The ruins include an inner corridor made of granite and a large stone slab inscribed with 10 lines of ancient hieroglyphics. Although only the foundation remains, the site still reveals the incredible engineering skill of the ancient Egyptians. According to Egypt's Ministry of Antiquities, many of the artifacts recovered from both the tomb and the pyramid are remarkably well preserved. These finds are providing scholars with new data to study the reign of Amnikamah, a pharaoh who left behind few records in traditional history. Some researchers even believe this may represent one of ancient Egypt's earliest efforts to construct a true smooth-sided pyramid, as opposed to earlier stepped or slanted designs. In a broader context, this discovery adds another vital piece to the vast puzzle of Egyptian civilization, one of the oldest and most enigmatic cultures on Earth. To date, more than 120 pyramids have been discovered across the country. The most famous of them, of course, is the Giza Pyramid Complex, home to the Great Pyramid of Khufu, which once stood at about 480 feet tall and is one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Yet this newly unearthed 3,700-year-old princess's tomb reminds us that Egypt's ancient history still holds countless secrets waiting to be uncovered. The 32 intact mummies unearthed beneath the Egyptian desert. It might seem like the mysteries of ancient Egypt have slowly faded with time. Yet, in the sun-scorched deserts of central Egypt, a doorway to the past has just been opened, and what lies within has left the world astonished. Roughly 26 feet beneath the ground in Minya province, about 155 miles south of Cairo, archaeologists have uncovered an ancient burial chamber containing at least 17 remarkably well-preserved mummies. Initial estimates suggest the site may hold up to 32 mummies, including women, children, and even infants. So what exactly lies hidden in this cold subterranean crypt? Who were the people laid to rest here? Why was this burial site hidden so deep underground, concealed from human eyes for millennia? Could this be the tomb of royalty or pharaohs? Surprisingly, the answer is no. This tomb was not reserved for kings or queens, but for ordinary people. And it is precisely this fact that makes the discovery so valuable. Most of Egypt's major archaeological finds have focused on the royal elite. In contrast, the lives of ordinary Egyptians, how they lived, how they died, and the rituals they followed in burial, remain a significant gap in our understanding of this brilliant civilization. That's why this discovery is considered one of the largest non-royal burial site excavations in Egypt to date. It offers a rare opportunity to delve deeper into the daily life and spiritual beliefs of common people during lesser documented periods of ancient Egyptian history. The next pressing question: from what period do these mummies date? While the exact age of the mummies has yet to be confirmed, Professor Mohammed Hamza, Dean of the Faculty of Archaeology at Cairo University, believes they likely date to the era when Egypt was under Greek rule, following Alexander the Great's conquest in 332 BCE. That would make the mummies over 2,000 years old, and yet they remain in astonishingly preserved condition. Can you imagine it? People who once lived, breathed, and dreamed along the Nile River now lie still beneath the earth, wrapped in linen, encased in clay and limestone coffins, neatly arranged in ancient stone tombs. Scattered around them are faded manuscripts and animal remains, possibly cats, falcons, or other creatures considered sacred in ancient Egyptian religion. And this is only the beginning. The excavation is still in its early stages, meaning countless secrets may still lie waiting in the shadows below. Egypt's Minister of Antiquities, Khalid al-Anani, described recent discoveries as a kind of message from the ancestors, as if the ancients themselves are guiding modern hands to uncover their stories, understand their world, and perhaps return Egypt to its former glory, not just in the annals of history, but on the global tourism map as well. Indeed, Egypt's tourism industry was once the crown jewel of the Middle East, peaking at 14.7 million visitors in 2010. But after the 2011 uprising, those numbers plummeted, leaving the vast pyramid fields eerily empty. Now, however, new archaeological discoveries, from the statue of Pharaoh Ramses II in Heliopolis to the recently identified princess's tomb, and especially this mass burial site in Minya, are rekindling the world's fascination with ancient Egypt, reigniting a deep love for a land that once nurtured one of humanity's greatest civilizations. Can you feel a chill imagining the scene inside that tomb? Dry skulls stacked atop one another, mummies laid in rows, heads turned in the same direction, as if waiting for something. A return? An awakening? Or simply a look of recognition from the future? These haunting images stir more than curiosity. They challenge us to reflect on how humanity views life and death. The ancient Egyptians believed in life after death. They believed the soul continued its journey in another realm. And so they left behind everything, from mummies, sacred texts, and godly statues to traces of their devotion, as a living library buried in the earth, just waiting for us to open. And now, as the sands of time are slowly brushed away, light is beginning to shine once more into the dark corners of history. The 3,000-year-old statue, bearing the majestic image of Pharaoh Ramses II. On March 7th, archaeologists from Germany and Egypt unveiled a breathtaking discovery, a colossal statue believed to depict Pharaoh Ramses II, the legendary great ancestor of the North African nation. The statue was unearthed at the ruins of Ramses II's temple, located in the ancient city of Heliopolis, now in eastern Cairo. This is more than just a statue. It is a bridge to history, taking us back nearly 3,000 years to the golden age of ancient Egypt. The statue is made of quartzite, an extremely hard, durable stone resistant to weathering, which explains how it has endured for millennia. Egypt's Minister of Antiquities, archaeologist Khalid al-Anani, provided detailed insights into the find. The body of the statue, the lower part of its head, along with the crown and a fragment of the right eye were recovered. The excitement was indescribable when the team was finally able to place the statue's head after years of anticipation. You might agree that this is one of the most significant archaeological discoveries of the decade, capturing the attention of the global community. What adds even more value to the find is its deep historical connection to Pharaoh Ramses II, the third ruler of Egypt's 19th dynasty, who reigned from 1279 to 1213 BCE. Ramses II is renowned not only for his long reign, but also for his military achievements, including expanding Egypt's borders into present-day Syria to the east and northern Sudan to the south. He was so revered that his successors referred to him as the greatest of the great, or the great ancestor, titles that speak volumes about his unmatched power and legacy that transcended time. You may also be wondering whether anything else was found besides the massive statue of Ramses II. Indeed, archaeologists also discovered the upper part of a limestone statue measuring approximately 31.5 inches in length, believed to represent Pharaoh Seti II, Ramses II's grandson. This further confirms that the area was once a major center of royal power and culture. Experts are currently working to excavate the remaining pieces, with the goal of fully restoring the statue and relocating it to the Grand Egyptian Museum in Giza. This will offer the world a fresh perspective on Egypt's glorious past. It's easy to imagine the immense cultural and historical value this statue brings, not only from an archaeological standpoint, but also in revitalizing Egypt's tourism sector. Since the political upheaval in 2011 that led to the ousting of President Hosni Mubarak, the tourism industry has suffered significant setbacks. Now, with the discovery of this monumental statue of Ramses II, Egypt hopes to regain international attention and revitalize its economy through this vital source of foreign revenue. The 600-year-old mummified body that hasn't decomposed, still sitting cross-legged. On a remote, desolate mountain under the vast sky, where cold winds sweep across time-worn rocks, there stands a small house guarding a timeless secret, a mummified body, seated with knees drawn to chest, that has remained intact for over 600 years. But what truly captures the eye is the hair, still fully preserved on the mummy's head, something almost unheard of in corpses this old anywhere else in the world. Have you ever wondered how a body could be preserved so perfectly that even today's scientists have yet to identify any chemical used to preserve it? The story begins in the village of Guen, deep in the Spiti Valley, a restricted area straddling the border between India and China. According to local villagers and monks, the body belongs to Sangha Tenzin, a revered Tibetan monk. He entered a deep meditative state, seated in the lotus position, tying ropes around his body, as if trying to hold himself in eternal stillness before passing away. The body wasn't found in a grand tomb, but rather in a natural cave, steeped in the spiritual atmosphere of centuries-old meditation rituals. It wasn't until a devastating earthquake in the 1970s that this mysterious tomb was revealed. As the mountain cliffs split open, the mummified monk was unveiled for the first time, though he had long rested in the darkness of this forbidden land. Until then, only the villagers of Guen knew of its existence. The outside world remained completely unaware. It was only in recent years that scientists and daring mountaineers finally had the chance to study and explore this marvel. What makes the discovery even more extraordinary is that, despite more than 600 years inside the cave and over 3 decades of exposure to the elements since being uncovered, the body remains in a near-perfect state. The skin is dry but not fully decomposed, the bones are solid, the hair is still intact, and even the teeth and fingernails show no signs of damage. Western scientists, upon witnessing this phenomenon, quickly designed a vacuum-sealed glass enclosure to protect the mummy from environmental damage. Their goal was to preserve one of the most exceptional archaeological artifacts in the world. Do you know what their initial explanation was for this miracle? They proposed that before passing away, Sangha Tenzin meditated without food or drink, depleting all fat from his body. As a result, his organs shrank and dried out naturally. Without moisture, bacteria couldn't survive, preventing decomposition. But is that enough to explain why his hair remains intact? Why his skin still holds natural coloration after all these centuries? These questions continue to baffle scientists, leaving much still unexplained. According to Tibetan legends and beliefs, this is far more than just a preserved corpse. It is the physical evidence of the highest meditative state a monk can achieve, a state of spiritual immortality in both body and soul after years of devotion and asceticism. This mummy is not a symbol of death, but a symbol of transcendence, of rising beyond the limits of life and death. What would it feel like to stand before such living proof of the extraordinary power of the human spirit and mind? An 800-year-old mummy cemetery in northern Russia. At the Zeleny Yar site in northern Russia, a large-scale excavation has revealed 34 ancient graves, including 11 nearly perfectly preserved mummies that have remained intact for over 800 years, along with countless ancient artifacts that tell untold stories of medieval life in this region. What makes this unique archaeological site so mysterious and captivating? Let's explore together. The moment anyone steps into the excavation area, they are amazed by the richness and diversity of the artifacts uncovered. Among the 11 mummies, some are especially intriguing: a woman, a child, and 3 infants, all whose bodies were covered in copper plating, a technique still shrouded in mystery today regarding its method and true meaning. Imagine, a layer of copper not only helped preserve the bodies, but also carried deep symbolic significance, acting as a protective armor against the passage of time and harsh environmental conditions. Surrounding these bodies were layers of reindeer, beaver, and bear fur, materials the ancient people used not only for warmth, but likely connected to their spiritual beliefs or funeral customs. One mummy of particular note is a red-haired man, whose hair color immediately stands out in the community. His body was also copper-plated from chest to feet, as if wrapped in an unbreakable metallic shield. Beside him lay an iron axe, unclear whether it was a weapon or a survival tool, along with a valuable fur coat and a copper key, symbolizing either power or a secret yet to be unlocked. All of these evoke many hypotheses and questions about the lives, social status, and burial rites of these ancient people. Not to be overlooked are the 3 infant mummies placed next to copper bracelets, likely jewelry or talismans for spiritual protection. The discovery of precious items like a copper bowl originating from Persia, estimated from the 10th or 11th century, along with a silver plate, silver medallions, and various other jewelry, further increases the multicultural significance of this site. Do you think these were mere decorative objects, or do they serve as clues to understanding the trade relationships and cultural exchanges between Eastern civilizations and the medieval peoples of northern Russia? For archaeologist Natalia Fyodorova, who directly studies and leads excavations here, this discovery is truly unparalleled. She states, "Many mummies are scattered across the world, from permafrost regions to wet swamps, but this area is truly a one-of-a-kind archaeological find." Her words highlight the importance and rarity of this site, where every mummy and artifact holds a piece of human history. Are you curious to learn that the belts, bracelets, and bronze drums found here were not only daily items, but may have held ritualistic meaning or symbolized the authority of ancient communities? Currently, Russian research institutes are urgently analyzing the collected samples to unravel the mysteries of the medieval civilization that once thrived in this frozen land. Big questions remain. Why did they choose copper plating for the mummies? Where did these precious items come from? What was their relationship with distant cultures like Persia? Even their funeral customs and beliefs are still waiting to be revealed. Would you like to be part of this journey of discovery? Imagine with me the hidden stories beneath the cold earth and rocks, where every artifact and mummy is like an open history book right before our eyes. 3,000-year-old teenager's remains, discovered in the Orkney Islands, Scotland. Recently, in the Orkney Islands off northern Scotland, an area rich with traces of prehistoric civilization, archaeologists made a remarkable discovery that sent shockwaves through the research community and history enthusiasts worldwide. They uncovered a nearly intact skeleton of a teenager who had rested beneath the fine sand for at least 3,000 years, right on the beach. Can you imagine the feeling of walking along a beach and suddenly spotting a few ribs poking out from the sand? That's exactly what happened to Carrie Brown and Ali Thorne, 2 British tour guides, just last week. While strolling across the sandy shores of the Orkney Islands, they happened upon 3 exposed ribs, a rare and haunting sight. Refusing to let the discovery slip away unnoticed, they immediately alerted local archaeology experts. Within a short time, a team of archaeologists arrived to survey and excavate the site. That moment marked a new chapter in history, giving us a glimpse deep into humanity's distant past. Detailed analysis revealed that the skeleton belonged to a teenager aged between 10 and 12. Scientific dating methods using radiocarbon dating estimate that this boy or girl lived and died roughly 3,000 to 4,000 years ago. What's truly astonishing is how well preserved the skeleton remains after all this time, despite being buried beneath sand exposed to the forces of nature. This preservation has left scientists both amazed and curious. Are there special conditions in the Orkney Islands that helped protect these remains? Or, as Carrie Brown speculates, did recent severe storms excavate the skeleton from its sandy grave, unveiling a mystery that had been sleeping for thousands of years? The Orkney Islands are known as one of Northern Europe's earliest settlement areas, with archaeological evidence showing human habitation dating back to the 4th millennium BCE. Because of this, the discovery of this skeleton is more than just a story of death. It is a vital piece in the human historical puzzle, shedding light on the lives and customs of prehistoric inhabitants. The teenager's gender remains unknown, partly because the body was found lying on its side with legs curled, a burial posture rich in symbolic meaning that archaeologists continue to study to better understand ancient funeral rites and beliefs. Though a definitive answer has yet to be found, discoveries like this remind us to cherish the value archaeology brings, not only helping us understand the past, but also reviving untold stories and ancient souls quietly waiting to be heard, don't you think? 70,000-year-old mammoth fossil, discovered on the shore of an ancient lake. During a surprise survey at American Falls Reservoir in Idaho, USA, a volunteer from the Bureau of Reclamation uncovered ancient mammoth bone fragments exposed along the riverbank, launching an exciting journey for the archaeological community. The bone fragments were dated to be approximately 70,000 years old, astounding everyone with the incredible durability and vitality of these fossils after being buried underground for tens of thousands of years. Immediately, paleontologists and enthusiastic students began excavating the mammoth's skull and tusks at the site. Over 2.5 intense yet thrilling days, they successfully recovered multiple skull fragments along with a valuable tusk. However, the suspicion that more remains of this giant creature lie deeply buried beneath the soil only fueled the team's curiosity and determination. To excavate the entire skeleton, experts brought in excavators and prepared to transport these precious fossils to the Idaho Museum of Natural History in Pocatello, promising a comprehensive and promising study ahead. Notably, Mary Thompson, a veteran paleontologist with over 30 years at the museum, shared that she has never witnessed a complete mammoth skeleton in her entire career, making this discovery even more priceless and meaningful. She and her team plan to return to the reservoir area in the next season, when water levels drop, to continue searching for and excavating additional fossils, helping to complete the picture of this long-extinct giant. Are you excited to join this journey of uncovering ancient traces that help us better understand the mysterious past of our Earth? Imagine how each bone piece, once assembled, will tell us the story of nature and life spanning thousands of years, with every new find unveiling secrets about the Ice Age and prehistoric creatures. This discovery is a vivid testament that archaeology is not just the work of scientists, but an adventure for all humanity, where every excavation step and every bone fragment found can change our understanding of our planet's history. What do you think about these surprising and promising findings? Will a complete mammoth skeleton soon be assembled and displayed, bringing us face to face with a lost world? Share your thoughts by commenting below. The 80 bronze mirrors in an ancient Han Dynasty tomb, China. In a dramatic and captivating archaeological discovery, scientists have recently unearthed a series of ancient bronze mirrors at a cemetery in Shanxi Province, China, believed to be the final resting place of nobles from the Western Han Dynasty over 2,000 years ago. Can you imagine? After 2 millennia, many of these mirrors can still reflect images, retaining their intricate designs, swirling clouds and delicately carved ancient figures as if they were crafted just yesterday. The mirrors range in size from about 2.75 to 8.66 inches in diameter, serving not only as makeup tools, but also as symbols of status, rituals, and even as sacred protective talismans for the deceased. Most were placed near the head or upper body of the skeletons within the tombs. The cemetery where these treasures were found is located in Gaozhuang Town, within the Jixian New area of Shanxi, a region that was once a cultural and political center during the Han Dynasty. This area contains more than 400 tombs of the aristocracy, surrounded by countless artifacts, from exquisite ceramics to bronze jewelry, and especially these bronze mirrors, vivid evidence of the craftsmanship and timeless aesthetic sensibilities of ancient Chinese artisans. At first, the archaeological team discovered the cemetery and some familiar artifacts, but it was the recent excavations that revealed the true treasure trove. A large collection of bronze mirrors found in both male and female tombs, indicating the widespread and diverse role mirrors played in daily life and funerary culture during the Han era. What impressed researchers most was the aesthetic quality and technical craftsmanship of the mirrors. Made primarily of bronze and tin, with traces of lead, each mirror was molded in clay and then meticulously polished to a smooth surface capable of clear reflection. Unlike other bronze items, mirrors required extra careful and elaborate surface treatment to fulfill their unique function, to reflect. If I told you that looking into these mirrors, you wouldn't just see your own reflection, but also a vivid glimpse of an ancient civilization still alive within them, that wouldn't be an exaggeration at all. According to the archaeological team from the University of Hong Kong, the idea of creating mirrors may have originated from the simple but profound moment when ancient humans first saw their image reflected in the still waters of ponds or lakes. Inspired by this, the concept of manufacturing reflective objects was born. Over time, from the Neolithic period with the Qijia culture in Gansu province, where China's oldest known mirror, dating back roughly 4,000 years, was found, the art of mirror making gradually advanced. However, it was only during the Han Dynasty that mirror production truly reached its peak. Mirrors were mass-produced with diverse styles, consistent quality, and deep symbolic significance in ancient Chinese society. They were not merely personal items, but reflected the thoughts and culture of the era. Mirrors appeared in rituals, myths, and especially in beliefs about the afterlife. Placing mirrors in tombs was thought to help the deceased see the way to the underworld or reflect evil spirits to protect the soul. The decorative motifs on the mirrors, from mystical clouds to mythological figures, carried profound symbolic, religious, and spiritual meanings. The Han Dynasty, lasting from 206 BCE to 220 CE, is considered a golden age in Chinese history. It was a period of brilliance in science, technology, literature, medicine, and art, comparable to the peak of the Roman Empire in the West. In this context, the exquisite craftsmanship and widespread use of bronze mirrors among the aristocracy reflect the wealth, advancement, and symbolic richness that ancient Han society achieved. If you once thought archaeology was just digging up old bones and dusty objects, these bronze mirrors will make you rethink. They are not just old artifacts, they are time windows, vividly reflecting the stories, beliefs, and aesthetic philosophy of our ancestors from millennia ago. And who knows? Behind the dim surface of these mirrors, countless untold secrets may still be waiting to be discovered. 2,000-year-old oak wood statue, unearthed from the heart of England. During the construction of the HS2 high-speed rail line in a wetland area of the English countryside, experts unexpectedly excavated an oak wood statue dating back 2,000 years, one of the rarest surviving artifacts from the early Roman period in Britain. What appeared to be a lifeless piece of wood buried beneath a Roman drainage ditch in the village of Twyford, Buckinghamshire, instead revealed a human figure carved with chillingly vivid detail. At first, the excavation team assumed it was just a decayed piece of wood, but slowly, signs of craftsmanship began to emerge. The statue stands about 26.4 inches tall and 7 inches wide, carved entirely from a single piece of oak. Despite 2 millennia underground, most of the figure's body remains intact. The feet and forearms have rotted away, but you can clearly recognize features such as hair or a hat, strong calves, a slightly tilted head, and especially the ancient tunic with a belt extending just above the knees, evoking the image of someone from Roman society. From there, countless questions arise. Who does this statue represent? A god, an ordinary person, or perhaps a ritual offering? While no definitive answers exist, the carving style and clothing strongly suggest it dates to the 1st century AD, coinciding with Roman pottery shards found at the same site. It seems the statue was treasured by its ancient owners, possibly carried around or displayed in a home, only to be placed in the ditch for reasons unknown. The clay and oxygen-poor environment there inadvertently preserved it for 2,000 years. What excites archaeologists most is the rarity of this find. Helen Wass, head of heritage for HS2, states, "This is an exceptionally rare discovery. To date, only 2 other wooden human statues from Roman Britain have been documented in the country. For an organic object like wood to survive England's climate and soil conditions for 2 millennia is almost unimaginable. Yet the wet, anaerobic clay beneath the ancient ditch acted like a time capsule, protecting the statue from normal decay." Jim Williams, senior scientific advisor at Historic England, calls it an extraordinary find, not only because of its rarity, but for its potential to reveal insights into the lives, culture, and beliefs of Roman-era Britons. Stone, pottery, and metal artifacts from Roman times appear frequently in excavations, but preserved organic materials like wood are archaeological treasures when intact. What makes this find even more remarkable is that this is not just a carved block of wood. It has a human form, an expression, a style, as if telling a story long forgotten. Currently, the detached fragment of the statue recovered from the ditch is undergoing carbon isotope analysis in a laboratory. This method will precisely date the statue and potentially identify the origin of the oak used, whether from a nearby ancient forest or wood transported from elsewhere. Behind this discovery lies a trove of mysteries. Why was the statue placed at the bottom of the ditch? Was it part of a religious ritual or a symbolic act marking an important event in the community's life? Perhaps the ancients deliberately left this legacy as a message to the future, and now we are the ones reading it. As you can see, with every archaeological discovery, every shard, Every grain of wood is a clue helping us piece together the puzzle of the past. And this strange oak statue is more than just a work of art. It's a reminder that beneath every inch of ground we walk on, there may be a story waiting to be told. So, what do you think about this anonymous figure? Was it a real person, a deity, or a symbol of a world long buried? We'll continue to follow the analysis results and keep you updated with the latest developments, because the journey of uncovering history is far from over and full of surprises. For now, this is where our video ends. Thank you for taking the time to watch until the very end. If you enjoyed today's topic, don't forget to like and subscribe to support our channel. Until next time, goodbye and see you again.